So here is the simplest and easiest way to draft a princess dart. So if you are considering drafting a princess dart, these are the 4 major things you should consider. The first one is the chest line, the second one is the nipple line, the third one is the underbust, and the fourth one is the waist, if necessary, that is if you want to add any shape to the waist, and the last one is the length. So the first thing you want to be doing, we all know that this is an off shoulder, so your chest line should be 4 inches. That is where you should take your measurements, the first line. So it's very important to know that the middle princess dart, the wideness is always 5 for an adult, but if you are making for a smaller person, you use 4.5, just the way I am doing on this video. 4.5 because I'm making for a smaller person, but if it's a bigger person, it's 5. So the bust line, I'll be using 3.5 instead of 4. I'm using 3.5 because it's a smaller person. If it's a bigger person, you use 4. Same with the under bust, you are using 3.5 because it's a smaller person, but if it's a bigger person, you take 4 and 4 for all of them. It's only the chest line that will be 5. Look at them. I took 4.5 for the chest line, I took 3.5 for the nipple line, I took 3.5 for the under bust, and I'm going to be taking 3.5 to the full length. So this is very easy to do. So the next thing I want to be doing is to draft out my sweetheart neck. Sweetheart neck is one of the simplest things to do. You just have to place your chalk or your marker the way I'm doing. This is called a princess. This is called a sweetheart neck. Pardon me. And it's also very easy to achieve. So if you want to make it straight, it becomes a V-neck. But since it's curved this way, it's a sweetheart neck. You are only going to be doing this for the. We are going to be doing this for only the middle princess dart. So once I was done doing that, I am going to be cutting out the lines that are necessary. So after cutting out, this is how it looks like. This is just the middle of the princess dart for the front clothes. So just going to label it. The next thing is for me to place the middle princess dart at my fabric folded into 2 and make sure that there is space under it, because the space is going to be useful. So I would like to mark out, first you have to draft out your chest line, and then your nipple line is very important because you'll be needing it later. So now I'm going to be taking my measurements. Make sure your tape is on top of the middle one, the one you placed on top. So the first thing I want to take is the main one, the joining, the lining, and extra 1 inches allowance. Same thing I'm going to be doing to this under bust. I'm going to measure the main one, the lining, the joining, and extra 1 inches allowance, and the same thing I'll be doing for the waist. Now as for this dress, I am going to measure the full length. Yes, some people might be wondering, why do I have to measure the full length? That's because the style I want to make for this, I want to get the round measurement of those full length. That is why I measured it. So after sewing, what I'll have will be my full length circumference, if there's anything like that. So that is why I measured the full length circumference. So I did the same. I measured the waist as well, and everything was just fine. This is another important part you should never neglect. So from where the chest line ended, you are going to be extending it with 2 inches or 2.5. If you don't extend it, it is going to short, like when sewing your armhole or everything is going to short. So once I was done extending it, I am going to minus 2 inches for 1 inches from the up, just what I'm doing, and I'm going to come to the nipple line and add the 1 inches. So I'm going to connect the two lines together now. This is just all the measurement I need for this front princess dart cutting with buster. The reason why there is this extension here where it looks like a bust actually is because I'm going to be adding a buster. I'm going to be adding a breast tube. You get me? So once I was done with it, this is all the measurements I needed for it. So if there is any other thing you wish for me to explain, come to my DM. Please make sure you subscribe to this my channel so that when I post other simple video, it will be very easy for you to get the notification. Bye, thanks, and see you on my next video.